All right, could we be headed to another hung jury or even an acquittal in the Karen Read murder trial? Retrial. The jury sent 4 questions to the judge today, which raised the possibility of those outcomes. It's the first time we've heard from the jury since it began deliberations 3 days ago over whether Karen Read ran down her boyfriend John O'Keefe outside a Boston area house party in 2022 and then left him to die in the snow. Now, 3 of the questions were asked this morning. They involve the time frame for the lesser charge of operating under the influence, whether Read's media interviews are considered evidence, and if a conviction on a lesser charge would be a conviction on the overriding count. It's all pretty standard stuff. The judge updated the instructions to clear up any confusion. But it was a 4th question that was asked later in the afternoon that sent shockwaves throughout the courtroom.
We received a question from the jurors. If we find not guilty on 2 charges but can't agree on 1 charge, is it a hung jury on all 3 charges or just 1 charge?
The judge answered it's a theoretical question, and she couldn't give them an answer and sent them back to deliberate some more. But by the end of the day, the panel still had not reached a verdict. Read apparently interpreted that as good news. She was smiling as she left the court. The jury's questions came nearly a year after her first trial ended in a mistrial for almost the exact same reasons. Joining us now is criminal defense attorney Brad Bailey and Ronnie Estanislao, who was a juror on Karen Read's first murder trial. Thanks both for joining us. Ronnie, I want to start with you. Okay, in the first trial, you guys acquitted her of second-degree murder and acquitted her of leaving the scene of the accident, and you deadlocked on the manslaughter charge of not meaning to kill him while she was under the influence. What do you make of what's happening? Does it look like this jury is going to be doing the exact same thing you did?
I think the problem is that we didn't write down that she was acquitted for those 2 other charges. We didn't sign that document. Hopefully in this case that the document will be signed, but it seems pretty much the same scenario regarding the second charge of what's going on with the jury, the current jury.
Brad, what happens if a second jury deadlocks for the same reason the first jury did?
If it deadlocks for the same reason, it can be retried again. The defense team has tried very earnestly to get the judge to clarify, particularly on that second count, that whether or not the votes have been not guilty on the lesser includeds all the way down to that 5th lesser included to try to prevent this from happening. But the judge is saying that's not how we do lesser includeds in Massachusetts. I'm following the form. It's either guilty or not guilty on the top count, and then you just go right down to the lowest possible count and determine whether or not you have a verdict on it.
Ronnie, what happened in the jury room over that second charge? Were you evenly divided on her guilt on manslaughter, or was it a different number?
In the beginning, we were equally divided, but in time, our beliefs changed in different groups or different individuals. But it ultimately came up to still so divided that there was no way we were going to be able to come up with unanimous decision.
Brad, at what point does the prosecutor say, okay, we gave it our best shot, end of story? I mean, this is a lot of money they're spending trying this woman, and it's clear, at least on counts 1 and 3, 2 juries now have not thought that the evidence is there.
Yeah, I think most of us who have been watching this have never thought that that murder 2 charge was going to stick or result in a conviction. And that is something that you have to take into account. There was evidence about how much money the Commonwealth or the prosecution has spent on experts in this particular retrial. That has to be a consideration too, but they have the right to try it if they choose to.
Brad Bailey, Ronnie Estanislao, we are on jury watch.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.